My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. It's time for another empties video, and you guys, my empties this month are very few. This is the smallest collection of empties I've ever had for a video, and I think it's just the effects of the no-buy year. You can really see them playing out now in terms of how much waste I'm producing, because over the course of 2018 I slowly whittled away at all of the stuff that was floating around in my life in terms of product, and I got to the point where I had pretty much just one of each thing in most of my major categories. So for example, right now I only have one big hulking bottle of body wash. It takes a really long time to go through it, and body wash consequently is only going to show up in my empties now every 6 months or so. Whereas in 2018, I was constantly finishing little sample sizes of body wash, nearly empty bottles of body wash. Body soap was constantly showing up in my empties videos for the whole first half of 2018, and now it's down to just one, so it's not going to be in my empties very much anymore. I think that's happening in a lot of categories, and that's why my empties are so small this month. It is raining in LA. It's raining rather heavily today, and there's a gutter right outside my window going splatter, splatter. So if you're hearing those suspicious sounds, that is what they are. And before we get into the meat of the video, how cool are these earrings? These were sent to me by a subscriber, and she made them. Anna is her name, and she has a small handmade jewelry store called Almond Tree Studios. I will leave it linked down below. I don't know how well you can see from there. Maybe I'll get close to the camera and try to show you in a second, but it's wire that's been knitted or crocheted together, and they have this gorgeous organic feeling. Like they really feel like they've been woven from earthy materials, and she calls these the winter pods earrings. They are slightly asymmetrical, they are very delicate feeling. They very much feel like two beautiful seed pods that were dropped from some kind of mystical tree and attached to these silver wires so that they could go through my ears. And the wires, or the chains that are going through the ears, are silver, so they're not irritating my sensitive ears, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Anna, for making these earrings for me. They are truly dreamy, and I know how hard it can be to run a small business selling handmade goods. So I'm excited to be able to share Anna's work with all of you. Almond Tree Studios. She has an Instagram, she has an online shop, and everything. Links below. All right, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. As always, we are going to start with hair care, move through body care to skin care, and then finish with a couple of makeup items. For hair care, it's just two little things this month. I finished this little sample size bottle of the Sachajuan Stockholm Ocean Mist. It's essentially a sea salt spray. My preference when it comes to texturizing sprays is for something super gritty and grippy and almost waxy that gets in amongst my hair and changes its texture and just makes it dense and bendy and sticky outy and volumized and crazy. That's what I prefer. Sea salt sprays don't really do that for me. I feel like they're good in a pinch, and that was what I used this for. I didn't have any hefty texturizing sprays. I had run out, but I still had a bunch of hair stuff, so I didn't feel like I wanted to actually buy another one. And I like to use sea salt sprays the same way that I use other kinds of texturizers. I spray a lot of it into my hair when my hair is suggestible. So the morning after washing, the morning after that, after I kind of sleep with it down and it's sort of just relaxing and not paying very much attention, I go at it with this and I almost saturate my hair, and then I put it up in a bun, and my hair is tricked into holding the sort of upward, crunchy, volumized, wild shape that the bun puts it into. So I used this for that, and it was great. It definitely made me feel like I had some kind of way to volumize my hair and texturize my hair, even though I didn't have a more intensive product. But I'm not someone who depends on sea salt sprays. Once I get my hair care whittled down to just a very few products, sea salt spray won't be one of my categories. And then I had this little sample of the Honey Myrtle Deep Conditioning Mask by Living Libations. Living Libations was at the Indie Beauty Expo, and that was where I received this. I received it in a little packet of samples from Living Libations. I used this quite recently. I used it on my last wash. You guys, the ends of my hair are getting pretty nasty. I'm always a champion of just getting the littlest bit cut off, and I always go into Rosemary and I say, take off as little as you humanly possibly can while still maintaining the health of my hair. And she is so wonderful. She really listens. Rosemary at Foxtail Salon in Silver Lake, if you happen to live in LA. She really listens, and she's the first hairdresser I've ever had who was able to give me a cut that made me feel like my hair was slightly healthier, but it didn't feel like it was really any shorter. And so we've been doing that for over a year at this point, and it's been awesome. But I feel like the chickens have come home to roost, and sometime between my last cut and now, I think my ends started really splitting, and the splits started kind of traveling up my hair. And at this point, I feel like I really need to take a good maybe couple inches off, which is scary because I love having quite long hair, and I haven't done that in a while. I actually have my hair appointment today. I'm filming this video, and then I'm gonna close up shop and go for a cut. So it's gonna be a bit shorter. I mean, it's so long right now that you can't even get it all in frame. It's like down past my boobs. But I'm gonna, it's gonna come up a little bit. It's gonna be like armpit length rather than below the boob length. And I think I'm gonna get bangs. I used to have bangs. I've gone back and forth. I've had bangs, then no bangs, and it's been a really long time. Probably not quite short or stylized bangs. I think I'll get longer bangs and then probably grow them out right away. They'll be like temporary bangs, but I think I'm ready. I'm ready for a choppy changey. I have already filmed one other video, my favorites video, without the bangs, so you probably won't see them in the very next video, but possibly in the video after that. Anyway, back to the Living Libations Honey Myrtle Deep Conditioning Mask. What I meant to say by going on that tangent about my split ends is that I don't think anything could have helped them. I didn't notice a huge difference. I knew that I had a problem with the ends of my hair. The fact that this product didn't repair them and turn them into beautiful baby hair doesn't say anything about this product. In fact, I do think it's a really lovely product and very natural. And if you are trying not to put any kind of nasty stuff in your hair, but you want to condition your hair, Living Libations is an amazing company. I love everything that I've ever tried from them pretty much. And so I do recommend looking at their website and watching their hilarious videos. The problem that I had with this is that I hated the way that it smelled. And I don't know what it was. So there are a bunch of ingredients in here, the smell of which I'm unfamiliar with. It could have been any of them. Oat straw, coltsfoot, horse chestnut, horsetail, nettle. I think it has jasmine in it, and I think it could have been the jasmine or the combination of the jasmine with the other ingredients, because I find that jasmine oil, like pure scent of jasmine, can sometimes go a bit rotten smelling on me. It can sometimes smell like rotted flowers, like flowers that have been in the vase too long. And that was the smell that this had that I didn't like. So it was probably something about the way that that jasmine had developed in this little packet, or when it made contact with the other ingredients. I love the ingredients that are in here. Sandalwood, sea buckthorn, calendula, rosemary, sage. I mean, it's a really gorgeous, natural, moisturizing hair product. So I'm not against it. I don't buy conditioners, I don't buy hair masks, I don't condition my hair, so it's not for me. And I didn't like the smell, so it wouldn't have been for me in any case. But I do think it's a good thing to know about, and I always love it when I have the chance to talk about Living Libations because I think that they're a really great company. All right, that was it for hair care, and I have 4 little body care products to talk about. One is a sample size of a perfume. This is the Atelier Cologne Vanilla Incense Cologne Absolue, and this was a 100-point perk at Sephora. I think it was some kind of Sephora perk at some point. This is just a straight up vanilla perfume. If you love vanilla notes, if you love that really warm, a little bit spicy, dusky, sexy, sweet vanilla smell, this is that. It reminds me a little bit of Commodity Gold, which is probably my favorite strong vanilla perfume. I mean, Vanille 44 from Le Labo is my holy grail vanilla perfume, but it's a very unusual vanilla, and this doesn't smell like that. Commodity Gold is the one for me when it comes to just a straight, cozy, everyday vanilla scent. And this to me is a little bit more bland than Commodity Gold. The funny thing is, I like vanilla as my go-to base note for perfumes, and when I had this, I reached for it every day. I was like, oh, this one, every day. I just used it, and then it was gone. That's why it's in my empties, because it was pretty new to me. I think I got it in a replacements order maybe in December, maybe even in January, but I just busted through it. I think this would make a great everyday perfume for somebody who likes vanilla as a perfume and they want to kind of have a go-to that's not super fancy, and then they want to have some more complex, intriguing scents that are in reserve for evening or for special occasions. Yep. Okay, you're the greatest. Thank you so much. Oh, thanks. Thank you. You're the best. Have fun. So these are 2 sample size pots of body lotion type items that I was given at the Indie Beauty Expo. They are from the brand Libations, and I used them up right away, which should tell you something. I think I used them up like within a week after having gone to the expo. You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of body lotion. I've talked about this over and over. I don't like getting out of the shower and then putting kind of like a cold, nasty, slimy lotion all over my body. So I've kind of gone to body oils. My best strategy is to just buy a block of pure cocoa butter and to use it sort of as a massage bar in the shower and moisturize my body that way. I'm always trying to find alternatives to this type of product. But I just couldn't wait to crack into these products, and as soon as I started using them, I used them straight up. I mean, they were pretty small. This is the Birthday Cake Hydrating Body Butter, and this is the Sugar Coconut Velour Body Melt, and I'll talk a little bit more about each one of these in a second. But I did want to just say that I can't tell whether my feelings about lotion are changing or whether it was the novelty of these or what. I think it might just be that these smell so good and that I wanted to smell them, and that the process of putting what felt like a luxurious and very cozy scented whipped or melty product all over my body, the intrigue of that and the sensuality of that overpowered my usual aversion to lotion. I think that that might be what it is. I think that in general, I'm kind of like, ugh, lotion, but when something is this yummy, I'm into it. This one is the birthday cake one, and it doesn't really smell like birthday cake. It smells sweet, but it doesn't have that fake birthday cake smell that some birthday cake scented or flavored things have. It does smell really good though. Vanilla, you know, it's like a cakey vanilla smell. The thing that really impressed me about this, first of all, it was very lovely to apply. And then I was just doing it one night. Like, I was at home one night, I had taken a shower, maybe I had shaved my legs, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna use that sample size of body butter. And I started using it, and then I realized that it was leaving a microfine shimmer all over my skin that looked amazing. And I was like, no, why didn't I save this for a special occasion? Why didn't I save this for a time when I was going out dancing? I just didn't know. It's just a little sample. I didn't know that it had glitter in it. If I had known, I would have saved it, because it's the kind of thing that I would have loved to put onto my legs or my arms or my shoulders and chest before going out to an event. And instead, I just went to sleep. Unfortunately, I still got the moisturizing benefits and I still was able to smell the lovely smell, but I learned that this is actually a really uniquely special product, more than just a body butter. This one, the Libations Sugar Coconut Velour Body Melt, I didn't like quite as much. It's definitely more of a melty coconut oil product, and it is not like lotion at all. You would think that I would have liked this more because it's more in line with putting like a pure oil or a pure butter onto your body. I think maybe I didn't really love the smell. It's very, very coconutty. Like, it smells like some sort of coconut ice cream or coconut gelato or something. And so if you super love coconut, Lauren May Beauty, if you're watching, you might really love the scent of this product. It felt good to put on, but if I had the choice to acquire a full size of one of these, I would absolutely go for the hydrating body butter with the glitter in it, because come on. I did look these products up and they are a bit pricey. I think the body butter is $36. So I don't know if I would buy that. I mean, maybe if I had done really well and saved up my budget and I was feeling flush, I could actually see myself buying it as a treat one time. I could actually see myself doing that. The rain is really getting intense. I feel almost sure that you guys are going to be able to hear it. I am impressed by Libations. I like it. I like that it's independently owned. I like that, I believe I looked it up and I believe that they take pains to use really high quality ingredients, and I just think it's great. I'm glad that I got the chance to try those products. Goodness gracious. It's like a monsoon out there. I finished this bottle of Nuxe Huile Protégée, and I have this right on the boundary between body care and skincare because it's an all-purpose oil. It's something that you can use for your face, body, and hair. It's a multi-purpose dry oil, and I believe it is a French pharmacy brand. This was sent to me by Tara. She lives in Canada. I think that Nuxe is probably more easily available in Canada. I think you can find it here, and I know that you can buy it online, but I don't know if I tend to see it in our drugstores. So I was using this during my no-buy year as my all-purpose oil. During my no-buy, all-purpose oil was one of my skincare categories. So if I had run out completely of all-purpose oil, I would have been allowed to repurchase an all-purpose oil to fill that category. And the one that I was using and the one that I would have repurchased was the Marula oil from The Ordinary. That was the one I was whittling away at when Tara sent this to me. And I think I quite shortly after that ran out of the Marula oil from The Ordinary, and then this was my remaining all-purpose oil, and I used it for the rest of the year. It's a dry oil, and it's a very dry oil. So I really loved it for body and hair. I didn't use it very much on my body because I wanted it to last. I loved the smell. I used it a little bit on my legs. I definitely used it on my hair, and I used it on my face. I was trepidatious at the beginning. I wasn't sure that the skin on my face would like it. It is scented, so I was worried that maybe it would irritate my skin or break me out, but it didn't. It was lovely and mild and moisturizing on my skin. However, as a dry oil, it's a bit more lightweight and less intensive than, say, a Marula oil. And after using it for a while, I did come to understand that for me, for an all-purpose oil, I prefer something a little bit more viscous. I was very glad to have this, and I was glad to be able to use it for the rest of the no-buy year because then I didn't have to buy another oil, and that was great, and it was perfectly serviceable. But now that it's empty, I'm excited to move on to some heftier oils in the category of all-purpose oil. All right, we have moved officially into skincare. Look what I used up. C Tango. Remember when I got this? I got it to replace my category of eye cream during my no-buy year. I finally used up all my eye creams. I bought this. I was so gung-ho about it. I was like, vitamin C in an eye cream, drunk elephant, yeah, yeah, yeah. 3 months. That's how long this lasted me. It's $60 a bottle. That's almost $250 a year, and that is way too much. I'm not going to repurchase this product. I was optimistically hoping it would last me most of the year, and I just used a little half pump or a little bit of a pump every time. A little goes a long way. I used a little bit of a pump all around my eye area and under my eye area. It was good. I don't know if I noticed any dramatic changes around my eyes, but I tend to think of eye cream as being preventative anyway. I do feel like I believe in it enough to be willing to invest a bit of coin in eye cream as a preventative measure, because I feel like the area around the eyes is something that I want to protect for as long as I can and as well as I can. So I am on that train. I'm willing to spend some money, but I just believe that I can get an eye cream that will do that preventative work for less than $250 a year. So I am going to keep looking. But in the meantime, I am using an eye cream that was given to me at the Indie Beauty Expo, and I really like it. It's also around $60, and it is the same size. It's 0.5 ounces. So I suspect that it will last me about 3 months, the same way that this one did, at which point, no matter how much I love it, I probably won't purchase it again for the exact same reason. But I'm very grateful to be able to try it out and to be able to talk about it with you guys, because this is a really cool company. It's called Ayr, A-Y-R, and I met the founder of the company and her daughter. It's a mother-daughter team when I was at Indie Beauty Con, and I had a long conversation with them. I love them. They are wonderful. And what's really cool about this company is that the founder started it because she has very, very sensitive skin, and she couldn't find powerful and particularly anti-aging ingredients in skincare that is designed for extremely delicate skin. So she made it herself, and she's done a beautiful job. They had a gorgeous booth. They have gorgeous products, and I've really been enjoying the products that they gave me to try out. One of them is an oil, and it's one of the oils that I'll talk about if I do that video about oils. This one is the Awaken Revitalizing Eye Serum. And the cool thing about it is it's got some powerful stuff in it. It's got a probiotic in it, it's got caffeine, it's got a number of the things that you see in skincare that's very science-based. So it's not like it's just a cream made of essential oils and emollients, you know? It's like they did the research, they looked into the science, and they took everything they could from science-based skincare and they formulated it while still being very, very careful not to include anything that could potentially be irritating to people with sensitive skin. So I think that that is pretty cool, and I have really enjoyed using this. It's lovely, it's lightweight, it's elegant, and again, the price point probably means that for me, it won't be on my personal repurchase list. It won't be the eye cream that I purchase again and again into this category. But if I was at a different stage of life and I had a bigger budget and I was committed to using an eye cream and I had sensitive skin, then this might be the one, because I think it does offer something that is relatively difficult to find. And it has the added benefit as a consumer, from my point of view, of being something that's created and sold by an independently owned, woman-owned brand. So, cool company. I will leave this linked down below, obviously, along with everything else. I did some masking this month, and not all of these masks are my usual gig. The Glam Up masks that I am okay with but don't love, that I get from Amazon, I talked about them at length in my last Empties video, so I'm not going to go on about that, but I used one of those and then I dropped the packet on the floor. The Dr. Jart clearing solution, my sister gave me some Dr. Jart masks for Christmas, and I've used some of them and put them in my empties. I love this mask. This is a mask that I no longer will buy for myself because of the price. I think it's in the $7 to $8 range. But this is an awesome mask for impending breakouts. It has salicylic acid, tea tree leaf oil, and niacinamide in it, and it is awesome for an evening where you can just feel that your skin is starting to act up and you can kind of feel those blemishes. You can like feel them a little bit under the skin. I used to always have this in my arsenal, and when I started to feel my skin was acting up, I would spend a good long time with this mask on my face, and it would help soothe and calm, and I feel like preemptively lessen the potential negative effects of troubled skin. If you have acne, like if you deal with constant breakouts, if you're really struggling, this is not a cost-effective treatment because it costs a full $7 or $8 to use it just the one time. And all it does is kind of calm and help and soothe, and it does it with these ingredients, tea tree, salicylic acid. You can get those ingredients in other products, other anti-acne products that you can use 100 times for the same price of just buying this one mask. So I'm not saying that this is like an acne cure-all or something. I just was glad that I had this on that day this month when I started to feel like, I feel like I might be gonna wake up with a blemish tomorrow. And I used it and it helped to just clear out and calm. It's a great mask, but it's like financially impractical. This is the other one that Ellie gave me for Christmas. I mean, she gave me a number, but this is the other one that I used this month. It's the Rubber Mask Firm Lever. I love these. Same situation. Great mask, does what it says, works really well. It has these jelly-like components that feel kind of like face-shaped pieces of Kraft Singles cheese, and you put the serum on that it comes with, and then you stick those jelly-like pieces on, and you can leave it on for like an hour, hour and a half, and it still stays moist because it's all jelly and moisture, and it's sticky and lightweight enough that you can walk around and do stuff even while it's on. It's a great, great mask. It's just, I think it's $12. $12 for a one-time treatment, that is just not in my budget right now. So this was a great gift because I really enjoyed using it, and it was very moisturizing and it was very lovely, but it's something that I absolutely wouldn't have bought myself. This is something that I also received at the Indie Beauty Expo. The company is called When, and this is their extra hydrating sheet mask. The Last Choice is the name of this particular sheet mask. I'm not really sure why. I wonder if they might have meant the last resort. The last choice sounds kind of ominous, but I love this mask and all of the When masks. There are a couple of others in this range that they gave me. This range is the Biocellulose range, and the Biocellulose mask is the same style as my old very, very favorite sheet masks, the ones by Pharmacy. They're really, really thin and jelly-like, and they come sandwiched between two papery pieces, like a mesh and a paper. And you peel one off and then you stick it and you peel the other one off, and it's so thin. It's like a paper thin layer pasted to your face, and it's really cooling and moisturizing. I just love biocellulose sheet masks. Unfortunately, the When masks in the biocellulose range are also around $7 a mask, and that's just way above my personal budget for sheet masks. But I'm super grateful that they gave me a couple when I was at the expo, because I'm going to cherish them and use them with a lot of joy and pleasure. I really, really love a biocellulose mask, and these are good ones. All right, that is it for skincare, and then I'm going to finish with just these two little makeup items. This is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Pore Filling Primer. It was just a little deluxe sample size. This was given to me by my friend Elizabeth, and it was nice. I understand why so many people really love this. If you like Tati, Stephanie Nicole, everybody keeps going back to this, always uses this just to fill in the pores right here. And it's nice, it works for that. It's not very pilly. This isn't really a format of primer that I like. I don't really like how it's in a little pot and you have to scrape it out. I don't got time for that. And I didn't love it so much. I didn't even close to love it so much that it would be worth it to deal with like a little pot style primer. But I did love it enough that I used it up pretty quickly after I started using it. It was nice. It was fine. I finally finished this Too Faced Better Than Sex sample size. There's something about these little sample sizes of Too Faced Better Than Sex. They're so good. I've heard people saying that the sample size of this particular mascara is better than the full size. I've never had a full size of the regular Better Than Sex mascara, so I can't speak to that. But I have had a number of these minis, a number of them. Like this might be the 5th one I've ever gone through. Whenever it's available, I snatch it up because I love the volume and length that I get from this mascara. I just love how like floofy and fluttery it makes my lashes. I did start to notice the crumbly issue that people claim to have with this mascara. It was still worth it to me. I used this whole thing until it was dry as a bone. I really, really like this tube of mascara, this exact one that I have here in my hands. I really liked it, but I'm just not gonna go out buying Too Faced Better Than Sex. I'm just not. I've never done it and I'm not going to start now. I enjoyed using this sample size for its own sake, and that is the end of the story. And that is the end of the video. That is it for my Little Empties video, and I do believe that I need to leave the house right now in order to get to my haircut on time. So I am going to go do that. Wish me luck. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will remember to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.